3.4 Malware. Now let's move from hacking tools to another major cybersecurity threat, malware. Malware means malicious software. It's software intentionally designed to damage systems, steal information, disrupt operations, or gain unauthorized access. End devices such as computers, laptops, and mobile devices are common targets of malware attacks. A key point is that attackers often depend on users to help install the malware. For example, a user might open a malicious attachment, click a malicious link, download infected software, install a fake application. Once installed, the malware can exploit security weaknesses and give the attacker access to the device or its data. Three common malware threats to end-user devices are viruses, worms, and Trojan horses. A virus attaches itself to a legitimate file or program. It usually requires some type of user action, such as opening or running an infected file, to activate and spread. A worm can automatically replicate itself and spread from one computer to another across the network. Unlike a virus, it does not need to attach itself to another program. A Trojan disguises itself as a legitimate application or file. The user downloads or opens it, believing it is safe. But the Trojan contains malicious code that attacks the computer from inside. A Trojan does not self-replicate. 3.4.2 Viruses and Trojan horses. A virus is one of the most common type of malware. The important characteristic of virus is that it usually requires human action to spread. For example, a computer may become infected when a user opens a malicious email attachment, opens an infected file from a USB drive, downloads and runs an infected file. A virus typically hides by attaching itself to legitimate code, software, or documents. When the infected file is opened or executed, the virus activates. What can a virus do? A virus can modify, corrupt, or delete files. It can also erase data or entire drives, cause boot problems, damage or corrupt applications, steal sensitive information, use email accounts to spread to other users, remain dormant until activated. Viruses can be classified based on what part of the computer they infect or how they execute. We have the boot sector virus. This kind of virus attacks the boot sector, partition table, or file system. It can interfere with the computer's ability to start properly. Firmware virus. It can infect the firmware of a device. These can be difficult to remove because the firmware operates below the normal operating system. Macrovirus. Use macro features such as those available in Microsoft Office documents to execute malicious code. We have the program virus. It inserts itself into an executable program. When the infected programs run, the virus also executes. And we have the scripts virus. It targets or uses scripts and scripting interpreters to execute malicious instructions. A Trojan horse is a malware that pretends to be useful or legitimate software, but secretly contains malicious code. Unlike a virus or worm, a Trojan relies heavily on tricking the user into installing it. For example, a user may download what appears to be a free game or useful application, The program may work as expected, but during installation, the Trojan is also installed. Once installed, the Trojan may allow an attacker to steal information, damage files, install additional malware, or gain unauthorized access to the computer. There are several types of Trojan horses classified by what they are designed to do. We have the remote access Trojan, give an attacker unauthorized remote control of the victim's computer. And there is a data sending Trojan, steals sensitive information such as passwords and other private data, and send it to the attacker. There is a destructive Trojan, deletes or corrupt files and can damage the system. Proxy Trojan, use the victim's computer as a proxy to perform attacks or other illegal activities, making the activity appears to come from the victim's computer. FTP Trojan enables unauthorized file transfer services, allowing file to be transferred to or from the compromised computer. We have the security software disabler Trojan that attempts to disable antivirus software or firewalls, making the computer easier to attack. There's a denial of service Trojan, use the compromised system to disrupt or slow network services. There is a keylogger Trojan that requires the user keystrokes to steal information such as password and credit card numbers. Viruses and Trojan horses are just two categories of malware. Cybercriminals have developed many other types of malware, each designed for a specific purpose. Some malware is designed to steal information, spy on users, damage or delete data, take control of computers, demand money, display unwanted advertisements, spread automatically across networks, and hide other malicious activity. Here are three additional types of malwares. We have the adware, ransomware, and rootkits. Adware display unwanted advertisements on a user's computer. It is often installed along with the downloaded software. It may generate pop-up, add unwanted browser toolbars, or redirect user to other websites. Ransomware prevents users from accessing their files, commonly by encrypting them. The attacker then demands a ransom payment in exchange for a decryption key. Here are two more common types of malware: spyware and worms. Spyware secretly collects information about a user without the user's consent and send that information to a threat actor. Spyware can range from relatively minor tracking, such as collecting browsing activity, to serious threats such as steal personal or financial information. Worms are different because they are self-replicating. A worm can spread automatically without requiring the user to open an infected file.